in. Everything's okay. Had to leave suddenly last time. So we're going to go ahead and try to start our stream on Reddit and get this YouTube one going and see what we can do. So there we are. Looks like my stream is pretty strong on Reddit and it's doing okay on YouTube. And here we are. I believe this was the same one we were looking at a little while ago. Still eating. You found a lot to eat on this slide. There you go. And let me see. So there you go. Got a couple of viewers. Let's see. And you can see my water's kind of deep, probably about 2 millimeters deep, so they come in and out of focus. That's a rotifer right there, a couple of rotifers, and a hypotrich. I think that's how you say them. But here's a rotifer, and there's our water bear, and they're about probably a millimeter apart. So yeah, this slide's pretty healthy. Hypotrich. So let's see. So, and the water's fairly deep, you know, a couple of millimeters deep on this slide, so that's why it keeps going in and out of focus. This is from moss. I have some moss on this slide. I'll show you in a little bit. It looks like little tiny trees. So this is just moss you would get off the cement. You know, when you're on your cement that might be in the shade, or on a fence that might be in the shade all the time, that green fuzzy stuff that grows. So, and I'm gonna zoom out, see if we can find another clear one. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of life on this one. Now the water bears came from moss, okay? But it's probably, all these other things is probably from cross-contamination from my puddle water by using the same eyedropper, I guess you would say, pipette, eyedropper. So it's probably it's probably polluted. So all of this stuff didn't come from moss. Some of it came, obviously, you know, from water, strictly water. You can see a water bear right there eating, one up here. So this has got cyanobacteria in it that they really seem to like. I didn't think they eat this stuff, but it looks like they're doing pretty good in it. And trying to find one out. Here's one out in the open. So this one's kind of moving between his food. So we can look at him, and you can notice his back is to us. So this one's actually walking on the slide or trying to walk on glass. And you can see, you know, these are multicellular, so these things have organs and everything. They have a digestive system. So you can see it's hard for them to walk on glass. So, what is that micro? Is that thing bothering him? What is that thing doing? That was odd. Maybe the tardigrade can eat that. That thing's called, oh look, here's one of these hypotrich. I think you pronounce it hypotrich. They're dividing, so this one's about ready to divide off. No mating involved, they just split off and DNA is equal. So that's pretty cool. There's another one dividing. No, they don't have these. Excuse me. They don't have bones, that's for sure. These are invertebrates, no backbone, nothing. So, but they do have a digestive system. They have eye spots. They have rudimental brain. They have mouth parts, things like that. So these guys right here, these are animals. So micro invertebrates, I think they're called. Now this is a microinvertebrate. The other one is, those other ones swimming around are protists. Those are a little less complicated. They don't have organs and systems and things like that. But this guy does. Yeah, he does look stuffed. They have a lot of food on here. These are fairly healthy. I've had them for over a week. No, over a week, over 3 weeks. Friday was 3 weeks. Yes, I'm in Louisiana. I'm answering questions on Reddit for my friends on YouTube. If you're on Reddit and you jump over to YouTube, I think you might get a little better, sharper view of these guys. He's just walking along. Well, did he find something he wants to eat? Nah, looks like you don't want to. Look at that thing. What is that thing doing? And got stuck on. What in the world? Thing was stuck on some cyanobacteria. Yeah. Oh, you're in Lafayette. Yeah, I'm from the Ninth Ward. I'm not in the Ninth Ward in New Orleans, but I'm in. That's where I was born and raised till I was about 10. So that's how I got this accent. All right, this one's all squinched up in there, so we'll go find another free swimming one. That's a rotifer. Usually rotifers, if you don't have, boy, they take off, huh? Well, this slide is just teeming with life. There's another water bear. They tend to go where the food is. So if you have a lot of goop on here, they'll be in it, and they won't want to. They don't want to be out in the open, or they try not to be because that's where the predators are, and that's where the food is not. So they tend to go try to get to the algae and the dirt and stuff like that. I'm drinking my Coke, Diet Coke. So what do they have, a kitty cat video on or something on Reddit? Hypo, let me see how you pronounce that other thing. Hypotrich, hypotrich. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's a hypotrich. So those other ones right there, hypotrich, Hypotrich. Not a paramecium, but kind of resembles it, but not really. So they're just different. And that is a water bear. Might even have an amoeba on here somewhere. You can adjust the light. You can adjust the light here, and you can see you get less detail like this, but you could see more through them. So you can see his digestive tract right there. And it's probably dark because that's where his, yeah, I would say that's part of his digestive tract, but I'm not an expert on these things, so it's hard for me to tell. And I don't know if this thing is this guy eating, this might be munching on some cyanobacteria too. That is called a I say hypotrich. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Hypotrich. 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 I don't know. But pretty unique right there. And you can see how much bigger the water bear is. So that's a giant compared to that. And even smaller ones swimming around right there. See if we can get a little black and white filter on here. When you go black and white, you can kind of get a little bit more detail. Not too much, but a little bit. You could surely see his eye spots better and his little eating apparatus there. It's like looks like a little arrow emoji. So right in his head. So you can kind of see that a little better when you go black and white. Are they hairy? No, water bears don't have any hair. No cilia, anything like that. So they're pretty much, even under the electron microscope, I've never seen one with hair. They might have, I don't know, I don't think I ever seen one that actually had what you would say looks like cilia or hair. What is that thing doing? Get out of here. Yeah, my stream's pretty strong right now. So I got a good upload speed on both YouTube and Reddit. And if you're on Reddit, if you can help me out, you help me out if you go to YouTube and watch. If you go to YouTube and watch, after you help my hours, I need 4,000 hours to get monetized. And look, I ain't gonna get rich off of this. I get some donations, but if I can get a few nickels every time I stream to YouTube, it'd be better than nothing, you know? And they require you to have 4,000 hours of viewing time before they'll even think about it. It's ridiculous. Doop 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 doop. I wonder if they can see each other. You can see these are different species of the same thing. See how that one looks? And this one looks a little different. See that? So this right here is a single cell. That's just one cell, okay? One big cell right there. All right. And yeah, this is, all right, so that's a single cell. And this is about 10 to 20,000 cells make up this one. So you can see that one single cell is about 1/3 the size of this one right here. Let's go scan around a little bit. What you're seeing right there is a grain of dirt. That's just one grain of dirt right there. You kind of see through it. It's a little transparent, see that? So that's what dirt looks like under the microscope. So you can see how big that dirt is compared to these little things. So there you go. Those are rotifers right there. Well, that is right there. And when you're looking for stuff, you just kind of scan around and you go up and down the slide. See, there's a smaller water bear right there. So this is actually a smaller water bear. Look how little that is. So that's 150x. This is about, let's see. No, those long algae, these are actually cyanobacteria. Those are the cyanobacteria that they actually bacteria that gain the ability to make their own sugar, their own food through chloroplasts and through photosynthesis. So they actually put oxygen into this water. So that's pretty good. So that's what that is. And you can see each bead, they have like beads. Each one of those is its own cyanobacteria. And they form colonies like that. And the water bear will suck the juice out of them. Only mammals have hair. Yeah, well, only mammals have true hair. You know, there's other things that look like hair. So where did you find these? This one right here, these come from moss. I got this out of a sample of moss, that green fuzzy stuff that grows in the sidewalks and on the side of trees and fences. But I cross-contaminated my water. Oh, look what we found. So I cross-contaminated with pond and puddle water. This right here is an amoeba. Notice that, look at that. So that's a treat. I thought I had one on here. So check the amoeba out. So that's pretty good to see. Now look, it looks like, I don't know what that is it found. I don't think that's food, but let's see if it tries to surround it. And this is a pretty fast moving amoeba too. So this is an amoeba. Not too many people have ever seen a real amoeba. So look how he moves. Yeah, you don't want to drink pond water. What scale is this? This is about 300x right here, 300 times. Yeah, each one of these things by themselves aren't going to hurt you if you get them in your mouth. But usually pond water, if you see life in here, which you're not seeing on this slide because it's too small, is bacteria, harmful bacteria. So that's why you don't want to drink pond water. You can eat water bears, if they were in spring water, it's not going to hurt you. But if you get a mouthful of pond water, you're going to get a lot of bacteria, and you might get some bad, you know, amoebas. Yeah, thanks, Magic Man. I do the live streams. I'm doing pretty often now, maybe a couple of times a week. Sometimes I get tens of thousands of viewers. Sometimes I get nothing. So this is today. I'm on YouTube, and I got 5 people looking on YouTube, and I got 12 on Reddit. So that usually means somebody's streaming a kitty cat, or they playing the banjo with their feet or something like that. So I'm gonna stay with the amoeba for a minute because a lot of people don't get to see amoebas. And there he goes. It'd be nice if we could see him catch something. Like if these things would, like when they slow down or something, the amoeba will get them and they'll wrap around them. So look how giant this water bear is compared to this amoeba. Water bear, and that amoeba is a single cell. Yeah, yeah, that's right. They just, well, sort of. They encircle them, and then they bring them inside their body, and then they digest them. Look at this water bear. Let's see if he eats the amoeba. Water bears can suck the juice out of an amoeba. I've never seen it happen. He looks like he's running, huh? No, I'm not well, I am a scientist. I have a biology degree, so that makes me a scientist. I'm not a paid scientist, so I don't work in science. If you want to send me $1, I'll be a paid scientist today. So I used the money I'm saving for a microscope, a new microscope. You could see it on my yellow tab down there, DIC microscope. Real microscope where you could see these things in a whole different light. I mean, it's just incredible. So, but you got years to save for that. They're thousands of dollars. Yep, that's a water bear. I was just looking at my YouTube comments. So there's a water bear, an amoeba in the same frame, and a hypotrich, that little thing swimming around. So there's the amoeba to the right, and there's the water bear doing what he does, walking around. This is actually a real good clear slide also. Let's see. That amoeba is really moving out. He was when I first started looking at him, he was way up here by this thing. So he's making some tracks. Moving out. Water bears looking for food. I'm gonna zoom back out. This is 150x. This is 150. And you can see, I got several water bears on here. Well, there's two right there in the same frame. So that's pretty good. So that means this water is healthy. I'm keeping a good slide here. This is 3 weeks I've had this little water going right here. So that's pretty good. 2 water bears. I think my record is 3. I think the most I ever had on one frame was 3. How do water bears move? Do they have fake feet? Yeah, no, they don't have pseudopods. They actually have feet. They have legs and feet. Let me zoom in on one real quick. So no, these things have feet. See them? They have 6 right there in the front or in the middle, and then 2 in the back. So they actually have 8 legs like a spider, but they're nowhere related to a spider. So they really have feet. And that's a water bear. What's he into? I don't know what that is. Might be an egg. Well, that's a little water. So look at the difference. This is a young water bear meeting up with a big old water bear. So there you go. Yeah, they have cells. They do have what, yeah, they have tissues that work like muscles, that's for sure. Because this is a real animal. This is a micro invertebrate. So, whether you want to call it muscles or not, but they have specialized tissue that help them move. Notice how little that one is compared to that one. And this little one found him some mush he's eating. If you notice that little triangle thing on his face, you'll see when he's puncturing some stuff, it goes back and forth real fast. Oh yeah, this one right here might have 10 to 20,000 cells. So if you think about it, a human has trillions of cells. This has about 20,000 cells. And these other things swimming around only have 1 cell. So those are single cell creatures. See them swimming around? This is about 20,000 cells. And so, yeah, they're a little complicated. They're really animals, so. Hey, Anita. Yeah, I've been back. I was streaming earlier, and I came back. I have my computer in a different room now, where the internet's stronger. So it seems like I can stream to YouTube and Reddit at the same time, and both platforms get a good feed. This is an amoeba right here again, if you're just joining us. Excuse me, I'm drinking my drink. So that's an amoeba. See how it moves? Now, amoeba has pseudopods. So. Oh, there's a giant rotifer. Oh, he's got a full belly, that thing. So rotifers are actually animals too. They have cells just like they multicellular just like the water bear. Anita, I don't, the eggs, they either broke out, you see how this one is right here? They either broke out of that stuff and got all spread around, but I do have, in the last day or two, I've been seeing a lot of tiny tardigrades. So I gotta believe some of those eggs did hatch. So that's a rotifer right there. And that's multicellular too, just like the water bear. So this slide really has a lot of stuff on it. Yeah, I can find. I had a tiny water bear a few minutes ago, and it was really small. This is a small one right here too, right here. So this one, you can see it looks small and fragile. So this one's definitely was hatched not too long ago. You can see it's eating a piece of bacteria, cyanobacteria right there. Let's see. Now, if you want to see this right here, let me go to lower power right quick. This is moss. This is what water bears like to eat in the wild. So when you go, this is that green stuff. You can't tell it's leaves like this when you're looking at it on your sidewalk, but this is what moss looks like under about 40x. So this is 40 times, and this is really what tardigrades like to be in. This is what you find them in right here, moss. It's got some rotifers attached to this too. So this is good stuff. It helps them hide. It's where some of the food lives. So that's moss. This, over the weekend, I had a couple of tardigrades on this stem right here. And they were eating this. Boy, they were going to town. They really liked it. I guess they got tired of it. There you go. That is moss. So let's move on. More moss. See, I try to get some natural habitat in there with them. Yeah, how do I film under the microscope? Yeah, this is I got my iPhone connected to an adapter, a microscope adapter, and you put it on the eyepiece, and it works great. I saved up some money, a few $100s, and got a good adapter. You could get an adapter for $40, but they're flimsy, they move around, they come in and out of focus, when you don't want them to. So I saved some money, I think a few $100, and got this great adapter. So. And if you look, so this is 40x. All that stuff we're looking at, those creatures swimming around, look how little they are compared to this grain of dirt. Each one of those things is just a speck of dirt, okay? One speck of dirt. So look at those hypertrich, And notice how small they are to this dirt. See that? Real tiny. Real tiny. So that's dirt right there. You can even see through it. You can see a rotifer through there, and you can see, look, he's swimming under the dirt. So you could actually see through the dirt. Check that out. So if you want to know how little these are, that's how little they are. You see how the dirt settles to the bottom of the slide? That's a moss leaf right there. Sometimes you'll see tardigrades on that. Yeah, water bath. Somebody put the emojis on there. So let's go ahead and look for some more water bears. See, we're going the other way. This is where all the eggs were the other day. I don't know what that is. Come on, YouTube, get the comments off. Oh, you're welcome, thanks. And notice these rotifers, how full they are. So they got a lot of food on here. See how dark his belly is? That's a lot of food. Let's try to find a water bear here. Oh, there you go. All right, let's go back up to 150x. Oh, there's two of them. Two water bears, one small and one medium. Hello, hello, how you doing? Uh-oh. Hey, don't eat up all my food. So this is a youngster right here. And this one's a little older. I wonder what water bears do when they come up on each other. They look like they were communicating for a second, huh? Looking at each other, and then, they went their separate ways. So, there you go. Let's see. And you can see how small that water bear is. Look, just think how small those other creatures are. Really small. Sometimes rotifers, this water's deep, so these rotifers keep going in and out of focus, but these are interesting to watch too, because they'll filter anything in that they can get. And you can see this one's been filtering in a lot of stuff because his belly's full. There's that moss again. Another water bear out in the open. And notice how this is actually a slide with, it kind of looks like a tiny aquarium, about 3 inches wide and 2 inches tall. And you put water in it, and it's about 2-3 millimeters width, where you could put water in it, and you know that's a lot of water that you could put in it. So that's why these come in and out of focus, because they actually go and see that rotifer's lower on the slide than the water bear. Now they're about the same level. See. If you can hear any water dripping, that's my kitty cat bowl. We got like a fountain for them, and you can hear it in the background. I'm going to try one day to stream, using RPan Studio to stream to Reddit, and use OBS Studio to stream to YouTube at the same time. But I'd still need my phone hooked up to this, so might not make a difference. Except when you're streaming on RPan Studio, you can put messages on it. You can move stuff around, see? Do, 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 do. All right, 40 minutes, excuse me. So I got some stuff to do around off today, so I'm gonna do some stuff around the house. So I'm gonna go minutes, unless the kitty cat stream ends and I get some viewers. I'm gonna call it a morning in a little bit, maybe 5 minutes or so. These are really healthy samples right here. This sample's 3 weeks old, so. And that cyanobacteria actually puts oxygen in the water, so you don't have to worry about the oxygen depleting. Those things, when it's light like it is now, they produce oxygen. As a matter of fact, about 3 billion years ago, before there was oxygen on Earth, these things appeared, evolved, and they started making all the oxygen. So this cyanobacteria is was responsible for what are the great, yep, they are full and very lively. One of these cyanobacteria is actually what caused the first major extinction on Earth. Before cyanobacteria, the Earth was, I want to say, mainly nitrogen, and boy, you'd have to look it up, but they had anaerobic creatures that didn't use oxygen for fuel. So, and then when these things came on the scene, they started making oxygen, and for the first millions of years, there was enough iron on Earth to absorb the oxygen and rust. But then once all the iron on Earth absorbed all the oxygen, these things still stuck around, and over the next billion or so years, produced all the oxygen that we're breathing today. Cyanobacteria. You wouldn't be here without these little strands of algae. So you see any planet that's in the habitable zone, where there's liquid water and light, if even if it doesn't have oxygen in it, let's say it has oceans and no life yet, no oxygen, you want to terraform it, all you got to do is throw some of this down there and let it take hold. And, in a billion years, you'll have, you'll have a planet like Earth. Think about producing the oxygen. If your planet doesn't have oxygen, it surely has iron in it. So the first billion years of oxygen is going to get absorbed and metabolized by iron in that chemical reaction. So you won't get any into the atmosphere for a long, long time. So thanks for watching on YouTube. I've been streaming for 45 minutes on YouTube. And if I had an average of 5 viewers for 45 minutes, that's 5 times 45. So what is that, almost 4 hours? So 4 hours added to my time today. Thanks a lot. And go, put a playlist on and watch some of my videos. I'll appreciate it. So I'm gonna head off, and I got some work to do. I'm gonna leave my microscope out on my table, so I might come back in a little while and stream later. I like to stream when I have the stuff to stream. So, as long as I have things to stream, I'll try to stream it as long as I can. Thanks, Anita. And thanks everybody on Reddit, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks. Yeah, this is cool. I like it. If my channel ever picks up and I can make $10 every time I stream, then I'll be a paid scientist. So I'll